This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, a local man caught out by an online video scam that resulted in blackmail warns others to beware. We'll find out why Dunedin is a popular choice when it comes to teenagers and outdoor pursuits. And thousands of school kids do some exploring of a cultural nature through performance. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. A Dunedin man is alerting Interpol to an online scammer after being the victim of blackmail. The social media professional was filmed without permission during a live internet video conversation, and he hopes his misfortune serves as a warning to other residents.
Daryl Baser uses the internet every day. He's a self-employed social media advisor for small local businesses. And despite his online know-how, he's just been the victim of a frightening internet scam. It all started with what he thought was an innocent Skype conversation with a new contact in London.
And as the conversation finished, I got these messages that said, we've got these images of you, and it looks like you're doing this. They weren't pleasant images at all. Parts of it was actually me, and parts of it wasn't. He says the result was frighteningly realistic. It looked like I was committing a lewd act, shall we say. The blackmailer demanded thousands of dollars, threatening to release the offensive images online. Baser tried negotiating and lost sleep, worrying about whether the footage was circulating for the world to see. I've had a couple of nervous Google searches. He's reported the incident to Interpol as well as Dunedin Police, and he's asking friends to heed his warning so as not to fall prey. Do not Skype anybody you don't know well outside of social media life. He'll continue to use the internet and develop his social media business, but he won't be Skyping strangers anytime soon. Yeah, I'm particularly embarrassed as someone who has recently started a social media company. To be caught like this is just phenomenal, but a really good wake-up call. A warning for all internet users to be careful when logging on. Rosie Mannins, 39 Dunedin News.
An image is circulating on social media of the man believed to be responsible for the theft of a local septic waste truck. Barrydale plumbing staff is sharing this still of the suspect, taken from CCTV footage. It's an effort to track down their missing septic waste truck, stolen from the business at 4:30 yesterday morning. The blue and yellow Nissan Atlas truck is believed to have been driven north, with an unconfirmed sighting in Oamaru. Police say the stolen vehicle was later spotted at a service station in Christchurch. Anyone with information about the truck's whereabouts or the suspect is asked to contact Dunedin Police. Almost 200 teenagers from around Otago and Southland are exploring the city in honour of a national legend. The Year 9 and 10 students are participating in the 10th annual Sir Edmund Hillary Outdoor Pursuits Challenge. And organisers of the national event say Dunedin is consistently the most popular location.
Combining speed and focus, high school students are on their bikes for the annual Get to Go challenge run nationwide by the Hillary Outdoors Education Centre. 24 teams of 8 from around Otago and Southland are spending the day representing their schools in a range of challenges around the city. And events manager Darren Ashmore says it's all about getting youth to give outdoor pursuits a go.
The event's kind of designed, I guess, as a bit of an introduction to adventure racing and multi-sport. So it's using the components that you'll find in adventure racing and breaking them down just into little small bite-sized chunks. So it's about getting out and having fun first and foremost and working in your team.
Mountain Biking Otago is helping with this leg of the challenge, while Dunedin Orienteering and Wild Earth Adventures facilitate the kayaking and orienteering aspects. Ashmore says it's a great way for participants to be introduced to locally available services, particularly as Southerners show so much interest in the challenge.
Each event has a capacity of 24 teams. We've got that today. There's 24 teams here, and the event actually sold out about 3 months ago. It's very popular. It's the most popular region in the country down here.
Around the country, about 1,600 students take part, with numbers consistent each year. and Ashmore hopes this year's participants are inspired to do more in the outdoors.
We're lucky in New Zealand we have this massive outdoor wilderness all around us that it's free to go and play in. And from our point of view at Hillary Outdoors, we want to encourage people into the outdoors. We know how powerful it can be from personal development level, building self-confidence, self-esteem, resilience, that type of thing.
While the event's primarily about having fun, Ashmore says there's also a competitive element, with the top scoring team in the Mixed Premier Division invited to represent the region at a week-long final on Great Barrier Island in December. Ruby McAndrew, 39, Dunedin News.
A Dunedin man has been arrested after threatening a member of the public with a knife, as well as suspected drink driving. Police apprehended 47-year-old Peter Carr in Mornington late last night. Earlier in the evening, police received a report involving Carr making threats with a knife. Officers later found him driving in Alva Street, where, after he resisted police, he was pepper sprayed and arrested. He's now before the courts, charged with threatening to kill, assault with a weapon, refusing to give blood, resisting police and refusing to accompany police. Thousands of school children are exploring their culture at this year's Polyfest. The annual Otago event opened last night with a local guest drawing hundreds of spectators. And there will be more colourful performances over the course of the multi-day showcase.
A time for children to get multicultural. These are just a few of thousands of Otago kids performing in this year's Polyfest, a Māori and Pacifica arts festival celebrating the Pacific cultures through performance.
Polyfest is an event for early childhood centres and schools to present the performances that they have been working on and learning for kapahaka, Māori performance items, and also for a range of Pacific items.
With more than 4,000 students from 118 schools taking part, Otago Polyfest stands out from similar events around the country. And Laufiso says there's no limitation to being a part of the multi-day event.
It's quite unique in some respects because it goes from early childhood right through to primary. It does include both Māori and Pacific, whereas a lot of other events across the country only do Pacific or only do primary or only do secondary.
Local boy Maka Pohatu opened the festival with his band The Modern Māori Quartet. He says being involved in Polyfest is a crucial part of what it means to grow up in a Pacific nation.
There's a real awesome family vibe, and everyone's proud to see their kids on stage, and half of the tutors all were those kids back in the day, so it's a huge idea. It's a cool legacy.
Hours of volunteer help, extensive planning and several grants were required to make the $80,000 festival happen. And after more than 2 decades of Polyfest, Laufiso wants to supersize the successful event, making it even bigger and better next year. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, the health and safety of some of our sea mammals comes into question, and we'll find out why local bees are about to get their own piece of land.
Hello, I'm Dougal Stevenson. Welcome to Museum Diaries, where we showcase some of the rare and wonderful treasures of the Otago Museum, some of which we don't normally see. On the show, we find out about one of the heaviest known bony fish in the world, the sunfish. Jane Malthus is in to show us some intricate lace. Collections Officer Jamie Metzger discusses fanny bus garments, and Conservation Manager Nissa Mildwaters brings in a snake, a crab and a wrasse.
Tune in on Thursday for Motorsport Night on Dunedin Television.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Big Orange for all your movies, records, books and games. Pre-loved needs and vinyl records, 45s, DVDs. A South Dunedin family-owned business for over 15 years. Check us out on Facebook, opposite Westpac on the sunny side of King Edward Street.
At your locally owned and operated Veggie Boys store, we've got fresh produce daily, fruit, veggies and more. Competitive prices is just one of the reasons people come to us in all seasons. Convenient locations and friendly crew, Veggie Boys Dunedin, come try something new. Stores in the north, the south, be our guest, Centre City as well to serve you the best. Daily specials on produce that are hard to beat, all tasty and healthy and all good to eat. Don't forget we've also got your milk, bread and meat. Veggie Boys Dunedin, your guaranteed a treat.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
128 tracks, dynamic automation, dual faders and totally digital. This is state-of-the-art music production. The SSL digital console. You'll find one in the BBC studios in London, another at CBS Studios in New York, and now one at the University of Otago. It's a good reason why our sound now sounds even better. My name is Maddie Parkins Craig, and this is my place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
Pallet fires are growing in popularity in Otago with people who want a clean and efficient form of home heating. The sight of a burning flame without the problems of chopping, stacking and carting wood around is a winner. Pallet fires, so easy, so efficient.
McClellan Refrigeration is your one-stop shop for heat pumps in Dunedin. We have a range of heating, air conditioning and refrigeration solutions. We also have 20 years experience. McClellan Refrigeration, call us on 477 0088.
Welcome back. The Otago Regional Council is in a solid position, finishing the financial year with $3.2 million surplus. That's slightly less than budgeted, with the council's income for the year down $500,000. Expenditure has also been higher than what was forecast. The council's share in Port Otago has been revalued to about $37 million. That brings its total equity up to $560 million. And on that note, let's take a look at today's financials. The NZX 50 has closed the day up 16 points. It's now at 5,668. The Dow Jones is up 229 points. And to the exchange rates, and the Kiwi dollar has fallen against all of the major currencies that we follow. The Department of Conservation staff are concerned about the health and safety of seals and sea lions. An endangered sea lion was recently mauled by a pet dog near St Kilda Beach, and Dock Ranger Jim Fife is here to tell us more. Good evening.
Good evening.
Why is this a vulnerable time for seals and sea lions?
Well, for the fur seals in particular, this is the time of year that the young pups from last year are being weaned, and so in the next few months they're going to be out on their own. And this year they're in very poor condition, so a lot of them aren't going to make it. They'll turn up on our beaches and that makes them very vulnerable.
Why are they in poor condition?
It's a food thing, we think, but we are following up to check that there's no disease issues going on.
Okay, and is the food issue affecting the adults as well?
Some of the female fur seals are being affected. But the New Zealand sea lions, we've got a much smaller population of New Zealand sea lions on the mainland coast, and they don't seem to be being affected.
Okay, tell us about the recent dog attack.
Okay, 4 dogs that were off lead discovered a female sea lion in the dunes, and unfortunately harassed her, and in protecting herself a fight ensued, and I think there was a bit of damage to both the sea lion and to the dogs. So thanks to information from the public, dog control was able to follow up on that, and formal action has been taken.
Is the sea lion okay?
We believe so, yes.
Okay. Are these sorts of incidents common in Dunedin?
Unfortunately, I think they are quite common. We've got a lot of people walking dogs on the coastline, and while most dog owners are very responsible, it just takes a moment of inattention, and dogs will start harassing or discover something that the owner was unaware of along the beach. So it's really important that dog owners take notice of what their dogs are doing. And last season, springtime for instance, there were 2 formal actions taken against dog owners in relation to attacks in which seals died.
What is the best course of action for a person to take when they see a seal or sea lion on the beach?
Keep well away and put their dogs on a lead. It's quite simple, really.
Is it safe to walk dogs off a leash on the beach?
Yes, so long as people check that the beach is clear. If the dog owners are aware that there are marine mammals or wildlife there before their dogs are, they can take the action. So they need to check, they need to ask other dog owners if they know if there's anything on the beach, and be ready to call their dogs back. Keep a sharp eye on them while they're on the beach, so if they do discover something unexpected, they can call them back and put them on a lead immediately.
What is DOC doing to monitor this situation?
Well, we're certainly monitoring what's happening with the fur seals through work with researchers and tourism associates on the coastline, and working with dog control and local communities to just remind people about appropriate behaviour.
Should people call DOC if they have concerns about wildlife?
Yes, certainly. It's the main way that we find out what's going on. And but in saying that, we also think people should expect the unexpected. We do have a lot of wildlife on our coastline. It's a special thing about Otago, and people should always expect that there could be something on the beach.
So people can be, you've done some started some actions against people who have harmed some of these mammals. How can people be penalised? Is it just a fine, or can they go to jail?
There's a variety of means, both under the Dog Control Act and also the Marine Mammal Protection Act or the Wildlife Act. Under the Marine Mammal Protection Act, it's $250,000 maximum fine or 2 years imprisonment for harassment and death of marine mammals, so quite substantial.
DOC Ranger Jim Fife, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, the City Council does its bit to increase Dunedin's bee population, and we're on the streets to get your thoughts on establishing a refugee centre here.
Do you want support for your breathing? You are not alone. In New Zealand, over 600,000 people have some form of breathing difficulty, especially with the high pollen season in New Zealand. Puff Plus is an excellent natural product developed to support lung function and breathing difficulties. Puff Plus is so effective, you get a no questions asked, money back guarantee on the first purchase. Give it a go, you have nothing to lose. Call now, 0800 502 402. Take as directed. If symptoms persist, see your healthcare professional.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
Big Orange for all your movies, records, books and games. Pre-loved needs and vinyl records, 45s, DVDs. A South Dunedin family-owned business for over 15 years. Check us out on Facebook, opposite Westpac on the sunny side of King Edward Street.
Pallet fires are growing in popularity in Otago, with people who want a clean and efficient form of home heating. The sight of a burning flame without the problems of chopping, stacking and carting wood around is a winner. Pallet fires, so easy, so efficient.
Wake up time and another frantic day ahead for Haraway's Oat Singles. With 3 delicious flavours in each pack, they don't last long with this family. They're so convenient and tasty, and they're ready in seconds. Haraway's oat singles are the ideal breakfast or snack on the run for today's busy families. And there's a flavour to suit everyone. Beat the rush and make sure you get your favourite flavour. Haraway's oat singles. Try new Kiwi Favourites Caramel Variety Pack.
McClellan Refrigeration is your one-stop shop for heat pumps in Dunedin. We have a range of heating, air conditioning and refrigeration solutions. We also have 20 years experience. McClellan Refrigeration, call us on 477 0088.
At your locally owned and operated Veggie Boys store, we've got fresh produce daily, fruit, veggies and more. Competitive prices is just one of the reasons people come to us in all seasons. Convenient locations and friendly crew, Veggie Boys Dunedin, come try something new. Stores in the north, the south, be our guest, Centre City as well to serve you the best. Daily specials on produce that are hard to beat, all tasty and healthy and all good to eat. Don't forget we've also got your milk, bread and meat. Veggie Boys Dunedin, you're guaranteed a treat.
Active Furnishers Limited, home of quality service with superior product and an in-house design team who are always happy to advise and create an imaginative solution for you. Active Furnishers Limited, part of Dunedin's design history.
We can't guarantee what people will do once they leave here, but we can sure as hell try to make it better. We're making headways, especially with our offenders going out and the integration between our industries and the outside industries, like the real stuff. Society just needs to give these guys a chance.
Welcome back. A new initiative is being introduced by the City Council to increase the number of bees in Dunedin. It's a joint project between the Council and the National Beekeepers Association to celebrate Bee Aware Month, and residents are being encouraged to get involved.
Hoping to cause a buzz, these seeds are being laid to grow flowers to attract more bees into the city. An initiative between the Council and Beekeepers Association that's set to benefit the environment.
Beekeepers project is to try and encourage people to plant bee-friendly plants. So this is an opportunity for us to plant some wildflowers as a combination between the city and the beekeepers to provide pollen for bees.
The small cost of the seeds is being met by the Beekeepers Association. Council staff are enthusiastic about the project, as Stain says bees are a crucial part of food pollination.
Bees are pretty important for our city. You know, a lot of people here like to grow their own vegetables, their own fruits. About 50% of the plants that we eat need bees to pollinate them, so they're pretty important in our society.
This Shaw Street site is the first local bee-friendly plot of what Staines hope will be many more to come, and is encouraging locals to take part by planting their own flowers.
At this stage this is the only site, but I can see other sites around the city, and I hope that residents might have a bit of land around that they know about near their homes that they might want to plant out, and I'm sure the city would be willing to talk to them about it.
More wildflower seeds will be planted later this month when conditions are better for sowing, and it'll be months more until the benefits are realised. A small step towards a thriving ecosystem. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Locals have signed contrasting petitions to the government in respect of a refugee centre being established in the city. Mayor Dave Cull has asked the government to consider the move, and he's labelled those in opposition as racist. So with that in mind, our Word on the Street team asked members of the public if they think a refugee centre should be established here.
There are so many problems, particularly in the Middle East, that I think countries like the OECD countries should be actually doing something about them.
I do think it's a good idea because people have the right to, live their life, and it's not their fault that, stuff's happened in their country.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's an issue that needs to be solved, so I think that we should.
They're still people, they've still got feelings, and they still need basic necessities of life, I think. Food, shelter.
I don't know too much about the present situation, but I mean, yeah, we have to be, we're lucky to have a safe home to live in, so yeah, I think it would be good to provide at least some of them, the same advantages.
Well, I think you should always help people because they're just people. Why would you not help them?
No, thank you.
Any reason why not?
Because I don't want too many of them here.
Yeah, I think they should because, like, just a bit sad how what's happening around the world and all that.
Yeah, I reckon they should help out because it's kind of sad if they don't, and those people have nowhere else to go.
Yeah, I think we should. Like, we've got people to help here in Dunedin, but why not help other people as well? I think we've definitely got, what it takes to do so. I don't see why we shouldn't.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. A Dunedin man is warning others about Skyping strangers after he was filmed without permission and blackmailed by an online contact. Almost 200 teenagers from around Otago and Southland are in the city for a National Outdoor Pursuits program. And the annual Polyfest event is bringing together thousands of school pupils for a colourful showcase of cultural performance. And it's time now to find out what's going to be in Thursday's Otago Daily Times. Bruce Query joins me. Good evening.
Good evening, Rebecca. Well, there's more news and more delays in the push to reopen Dunedin's historic courthouse. The Ministry of Justice has said it's now going to cost $15 million to strengthen the building. And it looks like the draft business case to go to the government for approval is some months away. The Kiwi Regional Airline says it's pulled out of planned engineering jobs in Dunedin, blaming the City Council's Enterprise Dunedin for not coming up with a $12,000 grant. The Otago Regional Council has given its strong support for the city to accept more overseas refugees. And there's a special lift out in your ADT tomorrow about the upcoming Blossom Festival, which is on at the end of this month.
That's all in tomorrow's ODT. Thank you, Bruce. Time now for local weather.
Weather update is proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn's Puff Plus.
And here is tonight's city view. It's taken of flowers soaking up the last of the sun. Just for today, that's today's sun. Around the city at 3 o'clock today, 15 degrees for the central city and the Taieri, 17 at the Gardens. To the situation, and a weakening trough is due in tomorrow. A ridge of high pressure will spread onto the South Island from Friday, although it comes complete with a period of cold southerly air. So to the forecast for the main towns in the lower South Island for tomorrow, a southwest change with a little bit of rain for Invercargill and Te Anau. Some rain for Gore with westerlies there, light rain at times in Alexandra with nor'westers easing. A southwest change will bring a bit of rain to Queenstown as well. Nor'westers in Oamaru will ease. The risk of showers is present there though, 16 degrees. And nor'westers will ease and some light rain will fall for Wanaka and Twizel, and both expecting 15. And Dunedin tonight, cloudy with gusty nor'westers and an overnight low of 8. Tomorrow, mild nor'westers dying out, thick high cloud. A few spots of rain are possible in the afternoon and we're expecting 19 degrees. And on Friday, cold southerlies and widespread showers with snow to 200 metres, 14 degrees. And finally to the Otago Pallet Fires tidal and fishing information. High tide tomorrow morning is at 6 o'clock. Low tide follows at around 10 to 1. And fishing conditions look pretty good tomorrow, particularly around 10 past 3 in the afternoon. And that's all from the team here at 39 Dunedin News for Wednesday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.